Namaste. My name is Cathie Filian, and today Steve is going to be teaching you 4 different ways to create some really fun holiday pendants that you can wear to show off your holiday spirit, or you can use as gifts. And we're using Dimensional Magic, one of my favorite Mod Podge products.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Make It with Mod Podge. I'm Steve Piacenza, and today we are going to be making jewelry, specifically pendants, using Dimensional Magic. Now, Dimensional Magic is a glass-like finish. We basically call it like a faux resin. It dries completely hard and completely clear. Great thing about it is there's no mixing, it's all water-based, so it's super safe to use. So let me show you what we're doing. We're going to be making these pendants right over here, and we're going to be doing a scrapbook paper pendant using scrapbook paper. This is a single one. You can also do some layering. As you can see, we had Merry Christmas on the bottom with Santa in the back. That's layering. We're also going to be showing you how to do embedding buttons right into your pendant on top of your Dimensional Magic. And we also have some glitter around that. We also have extreme glitter right on top of a piece of scrapbook paper with the Dimensional Magic. And this one down here, another button right on top. And we're gonna show you how to do all of these. Very simple, very fun gifts for the holidays, and really easy to do. And the product is called Dimensional Magic. So you guys might want to get a bottle of this. Really fun to do, even with the kids. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we are going to be doing this round pendant right here. And we have all this scrapbook paper that we can use. I always say when you're doing a small pendant like this, you want your image or your scrapbook paper to be smaller images also, because you want them to fit with inside of your pendant. So if you have a great piece of paper that you already have and liked it, but it's a little bit too large, you can also put it on the copier and shrink that down and do it that way. Just make sure it's a laser printer, not an inkjet, because you don't want the wet on wet and it could bleed. So this is really simple, guys. Get your pendant, get your paper. You can either cut your piece of paper by tracing it on the back with a pencil, or some of the pendants actually come with a template. So check for that. And if you don't see that, you can also find a punch that coordinates with the size of your pendant there. So there's 3 different options that you can do. We are using Mod Podge Gloss today. You can also do this with satin and with matte, but we're using our gloss. And it's as easy as taking your Mod Podge, and we're gonna just go right inside of that pendant, like so. Remember, Mod Podge is a glue and a sealer. So we're gonna be gluing down our scrapbook paper. Now this is a snowman, so there's the heads up here and the bottom of the snowman's down there. You just wanna make sure that your bail and the top of your scrapbook paper match up, because you don't want your snowman to be upside down. Then I'm just gonna press it down a little bit, just a little top coat of the Mod Podge. And that is your first step. And what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna set this aside, and you don't need a lot of Mod Podge. You want this to dry pretty quickly. This will dry in about a couple hours. You don't load it up, you just need a nice thin coat, let it dry in a couple hours, and you're ready for the next step, and that is Dimensional Magic. So right here, I have a step out, and this one's already been drying, and we're gonna use our Dimensional Magic right on top of this, and this is where it's gonna give it that glass-like finish. Now with the Dimensional Magic, the first thing I like to do on the side is just pour a little bit out, because you can see that air bubble. For whatever reason, an air bubble always happens when you first push it out, and you can see I use this pin to pop that in case it happens inside of your pendant. So you want to work around the edge of your pendant, and I'm just moving nice and slowly, and the Dimensional Magic really does the work for you. And you're just going to spread that out. Now you can see it's getting kind of foggy, and that's gonna dry completely clear. And you wanna fill that up, not to the top, just to the point where you cover your entire piece of scrapbook paper. And there you go. And that is going to give you a beautiful finish like this right here. Let's take a look at that. You can see that shine. You're gonna let that dry for 24 hours overnight. And you can see it's a nice hard glass finish. And these are perfect gifts, like I said. Now let me show you this one really quickly. It's the exact same thing that we did. We did 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. We put Santa down first, and then we layered it up with another piece of scrapbook paper saying Merry Christmas. So that's just a layering technique. This is basically collage making, and that's what's fun about it. You can layer and layer and layer these things up, and the Dimensional Magic seals it with the hard glass-like finish. So it's perfect for necklaces, bracelets, earrings. You can make your own and then attach them to those. You can have pre-existing necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and attach them to those too. So there's all sorts of different ways you can do that. Okay, so let's do the next one. Let me show you this one right here. It's basically what I just showed you with the scrapbook paper and Mod Podge. We're gonna add a button onto this pendant right here. It's really easy to do. So, as you can see, the buttons usually have these shanks on the back. And the first thing you wanna do is just clip that off. Just like so. Then, you can see I added my scrapbook paper on the bottom with my Mod Podge, like before. And then I added just a little dab of Mod Podge right down there, and I added right on top of that, and then I let that dry. So from there, once that is all dry, you're ready to add your Dimensional Magic. And that's as simple as going right on in, and you're just going to add your Dimensional Magic. I like to start around the sides, and we're just gonna fill in. See, and I'm not going on top of the button there. I'm just going around it to add that nice glassy finish. And the Dimensional Magic will spread out on its own. So you can see I'm adding it over here, but it's gonna get in all the creases. It moves around and fills in. There we go. Again, you can see it's a little bit foggy, but that's gonna dry crystal clear. Let's take a look at it one more time over here. You can see that pretty finish with the button on it. And I have another one right down here. I added the candy cane right to this oval pendant. And I also added a little glitter around the edges. Again, guys, this is basically collage making, so you can kind of add all sorts of embellishments. You can layer things up and then add your Dimensional Magic. It's a lot of fun. Okay, let's move on to the next one, and that's extreme glitter. So right down here, this pendant on this bracelet here, we did on top of our scrapbook paper, the extreme glitter, and then we added the Dimensional Magic on top of that. So very simple. We have a step out right here that we added the extreme glitter right on top of our scrapbook paper. You can see that shine, and we're gonna be adding the Dimensional Magic right on top of that. And the cool thing about it is all that glittery shine is still gonna show through. Again, I like to start around the edges, move around, and then fill in, just like that. Again, you can see that it's a little bit cloudy. That's all gonna go away. There we have it. And let that dry overnight, and you have that pendant finished. Let's move on to chunky glitter, which is this one right here. We're doing this in a round pendant. And the chunky glitter is great because you can see there's no flaking happening. Everything stays in place, but you still get that brilliant shine from the chunky glitter. And we're using this one right here. Again, guys, any color that you want, you can use any glitter on top of this. And that's right over here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of Mod Podge right on top of inside of our pendant. And I'm putting this one on a little bit thicker. Just like so. And then I'm gonna take my piece of paper, open it up, I'm gonna add my glitter right on top of my pendant. I'm gonna go all the way around. Like that, let that set in, and then I'm gonna tap this off. There we go, and I'm gonna let that dry also for a couple hours. And I have a step out right here, and we're just gonna add Dimensional Magic right on top of this. So there's gonna be no flaking, no chipping off. And that's what's amazing about the Dimensional Magic. It seals it in there with that glass-like finish. It's like a faux resin, no mixing, no smelly chemicals. It's water-based. And I'm going around the edge right now, nice and slow, and I'm filling in all of these areas. Okay, and that's filled too, right there. So let me show you the finished one right over here. Again, that one is completely done, and you can see that the glitter is still super shiny, and there's a glass-like finish right on top of that. So there we have it. That is Dimensional Magic on top of pendants. It's a lot of fun to do. It's great for the holidays, great gift making. Don't forget to hashtag Mod Podge, Plaid Crafts. We'd love to see you guys make a bunch of jewelry and send it to us. We'd love to see it. And we'll see you next Thursday on Make It with Mod Podge. See you, everybody.